What is a good web hosting service? It is not easy to choose a web hosting service when there are so many to choose from. These are some of the guidelines on what to be aware of when choosing a web hosting service. The technical aspect is very important, meaning your programming environment, namely Visual Basic Script, Active Server Page ASP, Cold Fusion, or Microsoft SQL database. For this, you will need a host that supports Windows platform servers. You may also be interested in using Unix or Linux-based server platforms, which would require a programming language like Perl, CGI, SSL, PHP, or MySQL database. Inform yourself on how to select a web server and server platform. www.storeandhost.com have both Linux and Windows platforms. You should think about how much disk space you will need and your bandwidth requirements. A normal website without big files would need about 200 megabytes to 500 megabytes. If your site uses lots of graphic pictures, videos, or MP3s, then you will have to choose a web hosting plan with about 500 megabytes to 1000 megabytes disk space. Bandwidth depends on your expected traffic estimation, so you should think of this while choosing a hosting plan to avoid running out of disk space and bandwidth to avoid extra costs. There are other features that your host must be able to provide, like video for your website, compatibility with FrontPage or Dreamweaver. If you plan on setting up a store, make sure that your hosting plan supports e-commerce features. Find out about how many email and FTP accounts are provided in the plan. An easy-to-use control panel is always an advantage. Reliable 99% server time up and fast internet connection are a must. Most high-speed internet backbones use OC3 optical carrier lines 155 megabytes per second or above instead of T1 or T3 lines. A good web host should provide high-performance servers. High-speed multiple backbone providers should provide failover redundant backup power generators and firewall software protection. The hardware facility must be designed for scalability to allow the service to grow with your business. In other words, you should be able to upgrade your hosting plan, for example, more MySQL database, more bandwidth, and so on, if need be. Another important thing to consider when choosing a web hosting service is that the host must offer excellent customer service and support. Your questions must be answered within the first 24 hours to 48 hours, and any problems must be resolved within a reasonable amount of time. The cost of web hosting service should not be the major deciding factor over the quality of the service. 24/7 email support, online knowledge database, interactive flash tutorials, and FAQ frequent asked questions will be vital features to finding a good web hosting service. Take advantage of storeandhost.com's web hosting service that offers all the topics we have covered and more.